A key life lesson began for me with a game.
What's up, cool guys? 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 I'm Choco Palyaka.
What's up, guys? You're with Choco Palyaka. Here I am. What's up? You're with Choco Palyaka. As you can see, you can't see anything, man. I haven't even shown up yet. What's going on here, man? Enough with this. What's with all these cliches, man? We're already at 3,200 subscribers. Wow, the family is really growing.
Over 600 or 700 gaming videos can teach you that life has a lot in common with games. And while I was pulling footage to make the video for my brother, I just realized for a moment how much time has passed since I started this whole thing, and how important it is for a person to remember who they are in their entirety, and how important it is to strip away absolutely all the layers from themselves. To bury yourself without thinking about what others will say, because when you're a creator, and we are all creators in something, it really doesn't matter what others will say, because this is your creation. And it can be ugly, stupid, scandalous, funny in the eyes of many people, but it can be inspiring in your own eyes. And in the eyes of some other people too, and that's why it's worth sharing it with the world. To this day, nearly 6 or 7 years have passed. I keep getting messages like, why did you stop with Federação Internacional de Football Association, how come you changed? Literally, there was this guy who wrote to me today, I want you to know, I want you to explain to me, I want you to tell me what the reason is. I told him, it's been 6 or 7 years, but he's still stuck on it. Imagine what kind of impression I left, imagine how many times I proved who I am. And I told him, look, you know what? I just got bored, man. I just got bored, tired. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. And now it sounds really easy when I say it, but actually it takes a process. As long as you can be as honest as possible and learn to say what your soul wants to say, I just got bored. But just like before, I've jumped into different things in my life many times, and this time is no exception. However, there was a really big gap when I talk about my life on YouTube, mostly because 10 years have passed. And I think that I owe not exactly an explanation, but more like respect to all the original, authentic fans and people who started following me from the very beginning, and to those who are still out there and following, or even more, who have needed to hear this over the years but for some reason haven't received it. First of all, guys, I want to say thank you, because if it weren't for the Federación Internacional de Football Association videos, if it weren't for all the videos I've edited and filmed, of course, but also your constant support, liking, sharing, just watching what I do at all. The mischief, the craziness, God of War, Outlast, the Yu-Gi-Oh games. Alright, I'm here now. Subscribe. Don't show up like that, Mom, please. I remember absolutely everything, and I want you to know that I deeply appreciate every single moment. It truly stays in my heart and will remain there forever. Many people ask if I'm going back to that. Via, this is Isco. Isco shoots. Goal. It's 1-0, that's it. Shot by Ronaldo. Fernando Torres continues first attack. First attack by El Niño Torres, shot by Fernando Torres, the score is 1-0. Fernando Torres. Leo Messi. He searches well and takes over. 3-2 is the score. What is Karim Benzema doing? Whatever he wants. Incredible goal. Come on, man, he crushed it, dude. Even the child in me doesn't say yes to this anymore because I realize very well that this thing is like school. How the hell are we supposed to go back to school? You know, a lot of people don't have good memories when they talk about their school years. But I had a unique childhood. From 1st through 12th grade, including before and after 4th grade, I had unique classmates. I had many wonderful moments. And I really enjoyed going to school early in the morning, the breaks, the excursions, the camps, and of course the hints, the copying, everything. Being in the same class with people and sharing all kinds of moments with everyone. Eventually it ends and everyone moves on. That's normal for everyone, but I wanted to tell you that I can't go back there. And sometimes I dream of just going back to school for one day. Well, it's the same way here. It's a cycle, a period, a stage of my development that happened at the right time, and I deeply appreciate it, and I'm grateful to each one of you for being a part of it. And as I've said before, I've always had somehow, I don't know, the style or whatever it is, to make things more dramatic. And maybe that's why I love movies so much. I've always made things a bit more dramatic than they are and more emotional. But that's just the kind of person I am and I enjoy it. I'm a bit nostalgic, that's true, but I want you to know that I still read your comments on the old videos to this day, and I'm grateful that you still watch them. And they're even getting a new life now among the young people who have recently gotten into Federation Internationale de Football Association or gaming. I want you to know I appreciate it, and these things mean a lot to me. And now I've just moved on because that boy grew up and life has put him through a lot of challenges for his age in many different areas. I learned what it's like to live independently. I learned what it's like to share my everyday life 24/7 with my partner and just to have a partner in general. I learned what it means to be responsible and to take care of myself and others. I learned what discipline means, that if you don't make the necessary effort for anything, it just won't fall from the tree. I learned that things don't always turn out the way you want, and sometimes kind words don't mean decisive actions. I learned that pain is a great lesson and we can either choose to learn from it or to sink. But I chose to move forward and I'm still here. Looking back at my channel over all these years, I realized that actually the reason why I keep all my content might be twofold. One reason is that I've always wanted the progress and development to be visible. I've never hidden anything from you, and if I ever did, I deeply apologize. That was never the idea. All the old videos are kept so you can see what I was like, what I am now, and what I still am. Because some of the qualities I had back then, let's say, I still show even now. Let's just say that you haven't seen the last 2 years. The second reason is that actually if you look closely, you can track this and tell me specifically over what period. I have made such a big change and have changed something. And I realized this once again when I was here in this room. This room was made to film a new series, Umove Odwiecznosta. Maybe you know, maybe you don't, right here in our office. A few days ago I decided this won't happen again because it's too dark and gloomy for me. And right now I'm in a very happy moment of my life and I don't want things to look this way. I want people to see me only as someone who is super serious and boring, because in the rest of my life when I'm not on screen I'm actually much more, and I'm excited to show you that part again. I've shown it to you before. But back then I was doing other things. We were making songs, jumping from one moment to another. It really follows, I've always followed my impulse. You are... Subscribe to our channel, you are...
I want to make you come, I want to hug you, I want to tease you, I want to listen to you, and you are, and you all are.
I started making songs just for fun, as a joke, an experiment, something I encourage everyone to try, to experiment and not to overthink it so much. Some beautiful things happened. The first song has 12 million views, and after that I went on and started a small form of a career. Around 12 music projects with videos which look and in no way fall behind the best performers. And I proved to myself once again that when I get into something, experiment, I can achieve results, and when I decide, I can move forward. And then I did it, I stopped with music. While sharing stories about famous people, many people got to know me from that and often write to tell me, I've been following you from the very beginning when you were telling stories about famous people, but when I started telling stories about famous people, I had it. It's like I've already grown old, like I'm already my new self. Back then I was 20 or maybe 22. Here I am again expressing myself destructively, mother. It must be really sad, bro. Not just really. When a person strives to live in the present, and the more they immerse themselves in the present, they really shut out the idea of specific dates, years, and exact periods. They often get mixed up and blurry. It's not that they're gone, just unclear. I realized that I started at 15, and back then my dream was to make a living from this, for YouTube to be my job. And 10 years later, now the 11th year is starting. This is something that is happening and continues, and I'm happy that I can say I've achieved it. But let's get back to Stari Choco, as this thing is called. Stari Choco is a parallel version of myself still exists within me. The videos are there and they can be watched, and actually they are just as they are. It's like your favorite television series where you watch the first or second season and you say to yourself, the first and second seasons are just different. For example, The Vampire Diaries, Lost, or Breaking Bad. It doesn't matter at all. And then, you know, they messed it up a bit, but overall the characters really grew up. Well, it's the same in the life of a YouTuber too, because what we do is share our life, our thoughts, our stories with you for an indefinite period of time. There are people who started and gave up a long time ago, and there are those who are still going like me. And actually that doesn't matter at all, because everyone has the right to do whatever they decide in their life. When I started, YouTube was a very different place. Now it's much different, but somehow I find a way to be myself. And over the past 2 years, I had the opportunity to meet incredible people and to stand on the other side, to stand on the side of the listener. The one who simply pays attention, thinks, listens carefully to what the most different people are sharing.
Travel across many worlds, each is unique, and there's much to share.
Fear of death and death itself are both illusions.
Yes.
We can't understand what is unseen and unheard from our perspective. That they had teleportation machines, flying saucers, and all sorts of things like that.
I had a dream to build my own studio office, and we managed to do it, and I'm very happy right now I'm here. It turns out, however, that this can help you grow just as much as it can limit you. Because for me it became a form of limitation within a limitation, as I call it. When you achieve this, being able to support yourself by making videos, having scriptwriters who look for topics and write, having cameras, having lighting, having an auto cue to read from. When you have to have everything, at some point you set things up statically, then one day you wake up and say, no, I'll go to the office, I'll shoot 2 videos or 1, then I'll send it to the editor, he'll do it, and so on. Sometimes you find yourself 4, 5, even 20 ahead and think, wait a minute, damn it, I'm not storing jars here. It feels like another COVID or apocalypse is coming, so I'm stocking up as if I could die any moment. This is YouTube, this is something alive, this is my life. This is something that has always been dynamic, always fresh, always new. I don't want to eat frozen salads, I don't want to eat frozen vegetables, why would I? There are enough of them out there in restaurants. I've done filler shows just so I wouldn't miss a Sunday because I was worried that I shouldn't miss it. Because that's my job, my life, my bills depend on it, and if I miss it, all of that goes downhill. Yeah, but life doesn't work that way. Life can surprise you with abundance at any moment. It doesn't matter if it's in the form of finances, in the form of gifts, in the form of a surprise call from someone you haven't seen in more than 5 years. And it feels right. And I learned to let life surprise me and to allow it. For me to allow myself to be surprised and to trust all of this around me, and things really do work out this way, and life is much easier, you know? I realized that just recording these things wasn't enough, even though I'd long felt the need to speak up, and I want to put all my favorite things and skills into something new, which you're watching right now and which is the first of its kind. Oh god, I still have no idea what the title of this thing will be. This is the real me. You can see me now hesitating and wondering just like everyone else. And I stand here, and I admit it because I believe that we are already living in times when there is no need for masks anymore. And it's good, as Socrates said, to reveal ourselves piece by piece and to be more and more pure and open. Because with the advent of artificial intelligence, it seems that this is becoming, well, it has always been, but now it is starting to emerge as our greatest strength, to be authentic and to be ourselves. I got sidetracked. The period with the games, the period with the stories, the period with the songs, then the period of wondering. I had a time in Sofia when I was unsure what to do, taking on challenges and trying to figure things out. Sometimes I borrowed and copied some foreign ideas and presented them. Because I was searching for where my piece is, I was looking for what I would like, I was trying to find out if this is really me. Maybe during that period I identified with it and I liked it. When I started school, they asked what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote happy. They told me I didn't understand the question. I told them they misunderstood life. John Lennon. And I think that even the stories of famous people had their own time. They had their own lives on air and they lived them a pretty long moment with some major highlights like the story of Ronaldo, Messi, The Rock, Robert Downey Jr., all those personalities who in some way have also influenced me. This person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person was born on June 24th, 1987 in Rosario, Argentina. After that, many things happened in my life that didn't happen in front of the camera. I moved to live in Sofia and then I moved to live in a village for a while. I bought a house in the village, then I demolished it and lost a large amount of money. After that I returned to Plovdiv and my life started over. And all these things have remained off camera because that's how I chose it to be and there's no need to explain them in detail. But I really miss that connection, not exactly with someone specific, but with the audience and with myself, with the channel that is mine and that I started. That's exactly why I do the things I love, so I can express my feelings, my thoughts, my ideas. And on the other side, if there's someone who's ready to listen, to share, to learn from them, it would be wonderful to help them most of all. To all Staria Choco fans, that's how I'll put it. Guys, thank you, you are really cool. You can watch all the videos and enjoy them as much as you want. Thank you for that, for all the support. I will never forget it and it's a deep part of me. I really thank all of you who are fans of the stories, of the hidden reality, of what I was doing some time ago. And I thank you very much as well because you were the step that helped me move forward. From the point of view that there were many people who stopped watching what I was doing when I stopped with Federación Internacional de Football Association and you showed up and gave me new courage to look deeper within myself and to be able to discover new worlds in the stories of all these people. After that, I've always had the desire to create a big production that looks like the American ones, and the Gaia platform was a big inspiration for the first season of Reality Explorers. I decided to do it in the best way I possibly could, then I hired a small team to help with filming, editing and preparation. I decided to do everything properly. I chose and created sets, specifically selecting the visuals. I also chose the guests, who to my great happiness, 98% of them, everyone agreed to participate, which was a great honor for me. After all, who am I at 22, 23, 24 years old? Why would you come to me? Why would you come and talk to me? That's what I was telling myself back then. But it happened and it turned out to be unique. We recorded a lot of shows. I think we recorded about 45 shows in about a month, in 26 or 27 days. Afterward, they needed the place as a photo studio, which was our agreement with them until then. It was a lot of work and we recorded many episodes in advance, and everything you saw in the following year were episodes recorded back then, during that 1 month. As wonderful as it was, regardless of the unique people I met or friendships I made, later I realized that this stew can't stay frozen forever and just be thawed and released whenever. I myself was changing. While those things stayed the same, I was the same person. During those 25 days, I gave myself a big head start and plenty of material for the future. And even though not everything was edited at once, somehow I didn't feel it was that fresh. At one point, 6 months had passed, 8 months had passed, and back then I had no idea when I opened something what I had said. You can watch it, okay, but you've forgotten how you felt. Back then my hair was much longer and I looked very different. By then, a bunch of things had happened in my life that honestly I wanted to share somewhere and express in some way, but I had filled up my schedule so much that I didn't even give myself a chance, you know? Don't end up in my situation, or if you already have, give yourself a chance, because usually you're the one who's closed yourself off just like I did. I had to wait for all of this. Accordingly, there were episodes we didn't release simply for that reason, and others that I didn't think resonated with me at that time. And what was said inside also passed, and then all of this happened. With our move, we were creating a new space here and decided to do season 2, and we did season 2. We started out with a television with microphones. By the 5th or 6th episode, I removed them because I got bored and found them dull and sterile. After doing something 4 or 5 times, I get bored and want to try it differently or expand on it. I've always been this way, as you can see throughout the channel. Hello friends! Right now we're in the final preparation day before the start of INRA Reality Researchers. Tomorrow we're already recording and we have our first guest. There's just a little bit left. Later on, I realized that despite all this, I was still compromising with myself and with my own channel. I was still creating episodes, for example, filming with some guests 2 or even 3 times. This way it creates filler content for me to upload. As a YouTuber, it's important to always have something ready to upload. It's not a big deal if you skip once or twice, it's really not a big deal, but while you're in that mindset and in that ring, it does matter and you care and it's important to you. And actually I needed to allow myself to lose, or actually is it really a loss? To allow myself to hit pause, to allow myself to step back so that I can launch myself forward like a slingshot. I'm tired of scripts, I'm tired of outfits that are put on, tired of dressing up just for a specific occasion. I'm tired of all that, of preparation, and of doing something only when it has to happen. I want to unlock the natural in myself in a new way, and as Valetos said, so many things happen to us in life. We're constantly traveling every 4 or 5 days, meeting all kinds of people, but only this much comes out into the public space. I mean, as ideas, as thoughts. We're not talking about chatting about who ate what salad, we're talking in general here. How does a person change when they're fresh, and what do they go through? And actually how I felt at certain moments when I wanted to share it. So you can take whatever you want from this story, and it might help someone else. Subscribe to our channel. And do you know how many moments like that I've had where I wanted to take my camera with me and film them, but I was too embarrassed? And actually, I've told myself, me, who's been doing this for 10 years already, right? To see the paradoxes of the mind, that who cares about this, that it will just sound stupid to a lot of people, that it's funny that you're someone who appears to know a lot and is intelligent. You can't allow yourself to put out things like that. And at one point I felt, believe it or not, like a mercenary in my own channel. It's as if there's someone there, someone behind me, some mysterious, secret, hidden figure who's pulling the strings and has hired me to say, to film, and to do the things I've been doing. I'm not saying these things weren't important or that I didn't care, quite the opposite, but I'm saying that a feeling developed in me as if I was doing it out of obligation, as if I was at work. Can you imagine my YouTube channel as a place called You Creators, You the Creators? Wow, a few days ago I said to myself, enough. Actually, that was right before we filmed the episode with Svetleto and Dez. The atmosphere was completely different. I told myself I didn't care anymore. I just wanted to say fuck off. Those were my exact words. I want what people see to be real, to be natural, and to be what happens around us anyway. To be ourselves, and for me to be myself. And to wear the clothes that are comfortable for me, and to put on my headphones as a symbol of the old gamer days, where I started from, and just to be myself. If I feel the conversation is enough after 40 minutes, I get up and say, it's enough for me, and if I feel like talking for 3.5 hours, to continue for 3.5 hours, but to have that freedom to be myself. That makes me think that I'm once again at the stage of a completely new chapter in my life. Maybe right after 25, and right now it's 2020 as I'm saying these words. Wow, I'm in a new stage. I don't know what's ahead of me, but I'm open to explore it and understand it and to welcome it together. I want to thank everyone who follows me and follows me for who I am. And I promise you that from now on, you will really see the real me. And I will really try not to pretend, not to do things that just don't vibe with me anymore, that don't excite me. I've been doing them for a very long time and now I can keep doing them, but that's just out of habit. That's because I've done a lot of repetitions, not because I actually want to do it right now. Right now I want to explore, I want to film with the camera I have, I want to record things. At first glance, the boring moments of everyday life, but they're just as important as everything else. Because this is our life, and right now I feel inspired to get to know this part of myself in a new way. The pause button is the most important when it's time to stop playing. That's how it is in life, just like in Fédération Internationale de Football Association and in everything else. There's always a new season, and this new season for me is about nature. This new season for me is a return to myself. But this time it's a conscious return to authenticity, to the simplicity of things, to my inner peace that's deep within me, to silence, to clarity, to the raw, true form of my most intimate desires. What I told you is entirely my own thinking, and I'm looking at the screen only because it shines nicely in white and gives a good reflection for the shot, whether I use it or not. But there's nothing written here, there are just some ideas written down. I want you to know that sometimes there will be ideas, movies and characters that you'll watch and they'll really grab you in the story, but you can always rely on yourself, you can always count on what's inside you, on that strength, because that's power, that's flow, that's your most natural version, that's the very source that flows and runs through your veins. This is something much greater than any of us can describe. This is the essence of life, this is life in action, this is the endless river of existence that adapts to everything and at the same time to nothing. This is you yourselves in different forms. I want to tell you that each one of you is capable of a lot and to thank you for your trust and your attitude. For the fact that I myself have changed so much over time and have had some rather strange periods, some more normal periods, and periods when I felt totally lost and totally... Overall, I didn't feel like doing anything related to videos, but I found the strength to return to what I had been creating for so long, to my own channel, and most importantly to myself. In this sense, I want to add two things before the end of this video. It's also related to change. First of all, one very interesting thing that happened on the day I uploaded the video about Baba Vanga. So I'm in shock because we came back from dinner and no one had looked at any devices. Today is August 10th. The plan was to release another episode about George Orwell, but since it's summer and I just got this idea 3 days ago, I said no. Since that one wasn't ready, we'll release the Baba Vanga video, which we filmed outside. The George Orwell one is darker and gloomier, and so on. And now I see a comment 2 hours after the video was released. Let's not forget to light a candle tomorrow to honor her memory. I open it to see. I've said it, but I've forgotten. She dies August 11th. Today is the 10th. How can you prove you didn't do this intentionally? That's it. That's brutal for me. I just realized now that this is tomorrow. Good thing that man was there. After I watched the movie Formula 1, I'm not a fan of Formula 1, not because I don't like it, but because it just never came up and I haven't watched this sport until now. As I was watching the movie, I thought, wow, these people, maybe man, this really is something. Along with skiing and ski jumping, this might really be the most dangerous and extreme sport in the world. I'm not sure though. One moment stuck with me when Brad Pitt's character was on the terrace and he said, I don't get that feeling often, but you know why I do it? Because I'm chasing and I want to feel that way again, that state. When I'm just flying, in a way, that's when I know nothing can happen, nothing can go wrong. And I felt the same way. I really found myself in that line. Movies really affect me a lot. That's the kind of person I am. And that's why I do it, for those states when I feel like I'm flying, really. And I love it when those moments happen. Right now, I kind of feel that way. At a Formula 1 movie premiere, I watched an interview with Brad Pitt. I think we can all agree about this guy. Every hairstyle looks good on him. More than once it's tempted me to try all sorts of things, but never to the extreme point I'm about to reach now. I came across this photo of Brad Pitt on the internet. Recently, I was at the barber, and for the first time in years this happened. I sat down and he asked what we were doing. And I told him, I don't know, I have no idea, man, I don't know. When I said I didn't know, and he replied, whatever you say, neither of us could decide, so he just trimmed the ends. He outlined me and basically we didn't do anything. Afterward, I went home and thought, wait, you wanted something else but lacked the courage to say or admit it to yourself. What's that? Let's return to the photo. Why are you afraid? Well, for example, because I haven't had such short hair since 2nd grade. Okay, well, for example, because I'm a public figure and I appear in front of people every week. Okay, well, for example, because I'll shock everyone around me. Okay, but do you want it? Would it make you feel like flying? Are you trembling right now? Yes, oh yes, definitely. Okay, then let's do it. Actually, this is a very standard hairstyle for Bulgarians, but for me it's not standard since I always have bangs. That's how everyone knows me, Choco Chocoto with bangs. With long hair, I even had really long hair at one point. I'm going to Sofia to film this adventure and to pay tribute to this moment and the end of this change. It doesn't really make sense.
Should I start?
Start. Subscribe to our channel. Now we're going to Nalbi, we're going inside and the change begins. When a person sets a strong intention for a big change, things happen and fall into place like magic. I feel very excited because for me this is quite a big change and it will mark my overall inner and outer transformation. And this is an impulse, a reminder and a sign to everyone. And if you've been wondering about doing something for a long time, if this idea has been on your mind, just go and do it. We can't predict what will happen, so we'll face it together and see what comes. This is a big change.
Yes.
Absolutely. You cared so much about your hair, its length, its shape.
Subscribe to our channel. That's it. I feel pretty good and pretty confident. Do you have any questions to ask me?
What was your first thought when you saw yourself?
It was really fun for me, funny, and I felt like I was in first grade. I mean, because somehow your smile shows up, yes, more, and it made me laugh. It felt childish, nice, at home. It's really not that scary as I thought it would be. Allow yourself to change and evolve. So, as my Fédération Internationale de Football Association days came to an end, I can actually say that I retired when I was at my peak. To some extent, if some people want more from you or from that period, it's like the good television shows. That means it ended at a good moment and when you were in good shape. I always associate it with the moment when Zinedine Zidane stepped down from being the coach of Real Madrid. He won everything, or correct me if I'm wrong, but he was with Ronaldo and the start team and he stepped down at the top. And that's how I remember it, and in the same way I have something similar with my Fédération Internationale de Football Association days. People remember me as someone who was very good and, well, very good in this field, and that makes me feel pretty good. So it's the same way with this, but after that there is always a change, and it's for the better, and then there will be another change, and it will also be for the better. That's our strength, you know? I'm starting without a beginning, just like that, just to see how far I'll get. Damn it, a man has to allow himself these things. It's pretty beautiful and it makes you feel quite happy and free. So, friends, here's something for you to think about. Don't think so much about where, when, how. Don't think about how you can control a certain situation. Life often changes your perspective, and tomorrow you may think differently. Find peace and calm in not knowing where you're headed.